Okay, today we're talking about states of matter. Now, one of the physical properties of matter is its physical state. Remember, there's a lot of different physical properties of matter. Physical state is just one of them. Okay, three of the physical states of matter are solid, liquid, and gas. The state of matter is caused by how close together its particles are. Remember, the more tightly packed the particles are, the more solid the object is. You see, the gas, the particles are really far apart and they're moving. And with the liquid, they're kind of further apart and able to slide beside each other. Solid matter has particles tightly packed together, so they're right up against each other and they don't move. Solid does not change shape when put in a container. These apples are solids and the bowl is solid too, so nothing's changing shape there. They're just sitting there. Now, a liquid has particles that flow past each other. The liquid takes the shape of its container. Okay, its shape changes, but its volume stays the same. How much of it there is stays the same. It doesn't change. The apple juice is a liquid. A gas, such as air, has particles that can move freely. So if you release a gas into the room, it just flies everywhere. It just goes throughout the room. A gas will occupy any space that contains it. A gas takes both the shape and the volume of its container. So you can't just like pour a gas into a graduated cylinder and measure how much there is, because when you release it, it just expands to fill the room. When you fill a balloon or your lungs with air, the air moves around to occupy all the space in that container. So it just fills up that one container. Now, matter changes its physical state when it absorbs or loses energy. So if you have a solid here and you add energy to it, it becomes a liquid. If you have that liquid and you add energy to it, it becomes a gas. Now, if you take away energy from a gas, that gas is going to become a liquid. If you take away enough energy from that liquid is going to become a solid. Okay, for example, a solid iceberg absorbs heat energy from the sun and melts to become a liquid. So it's a solid iceberg. It melts, it becomes a liquid. Okay, when liquid water absorbs heat energy, it evaporates to become a gas. So you have the liquid. If you add enough energy to it, it becomes a gas. Okay, this gas is called water vapor. Evaporation is the change from liquid to a gas. So the water evaporates if it gets hot enough. Okay, as water vapor in the air begins to lose heat energy and cool, it condenses into liquid water droplets. So, if you have a gas and that gas cools down enough, it's going to turn back into a liquid. And that's what happens on the side of a cold drink. The water vapor in the air around it um, cools down and becomes a liquid. Condensation is a change from gas back to a liquid. When water loses heat energy, it changes state and crystallizes to form solid ice. So, when liquids lose enough heat energy, when they lose enough energy and get colder, they become a solid. Matter can exist in a solid, liquid, or a gas. Okay, explain why this loaf of bread is considered to be a solid. Now, think about the molecules inside it. Are the molecules really far apart, flying around, or are they packed together, not moving? Okay, they would definitely be packed together, not moving, huh? It's a solid. Now, what causes water vapor to condense and form a liquid on the outside of a cool glass? Now, remember that the air around the glass is a little warmer. And when the air touches the glass, it cools down. The water vapor in the air cools down and it turns back into a liquid. And that's why you see the little droplets on the side. Now, matter will change its physical state when it takes the shape of a container, more matter is added, it is a gas, or energy is added or taken away. Now, you guessed it, matter changes its physical state. It's all about adding and taking away energy. If you add enough energy to any solid, it's eventually going to become a liquid and then a gas. If you take away enough energy from any gas, it's going to eventually become a liquid. Then, if you take away more energy, it's going to be a solid again. Okay, thank you. That's the states of matter.